They're the worst.
They're the worst.
Hello and welcome to episode 17 of Reboot or Deboot. As always, I'm Noah Davis.
I'm John Pino.
And we're here today to talk about the 1962 film The Manchurian Candidate, directed by John Frankenheimer and written by George Axelrod. Big picture.
We said it off air. I'm going to say it again. Thank God you guys are in tune for watching a movie. Should you want to watch this alongside listening to this? Fuck. It's good to have a real movie.
Yeah. Stop right now and just maybe watch the movie because finally we've hit a film, if you will. You know, we've been watching movies. This is a film. Yeah, but big picture, was that the big picture?
No, big picture. That was just the sort of etc. in the
Pre-cetera.
I can't remember the Denzel one. And I'll save my predictions and things to the usual period. But it's hard to think, other than the sort of topical nature of whatever was going on in 2004, why they would remake this movie. Because this is a goddamn good movie.
Yeah, very solid.
You know, like, very few things I could try to pick apart to go, yeah, that could have been much better.
There were
try it this way. And
I had two negatives, and that's all.
Yeah. But I think one of the better movies we've watched in the, history of the show.
Definitely. Yeah, for sure. Because, I mean, it might show its age, but its plot is so smart. And, I don't know, it still has a relevancy, which is crazy. You know, the things they were saying, we're getting into the nitty gritty, but it doesn't matter. The senator... all the things he was saying still somehow sounded exactly like senators today. I mean, it was actually kind of wild. I mean, complaining about liberals and communists and
communists amongst our senators, and
making
not be stopped.
Yeah, making up numbers and just making claims. That is still the playbook. So there's something to be said about its relevance. Specific positives. You want to go first?
No, you got it.
Okay, I'll say the movie has this awesome sense of intrigue where you're constantly, I wouldn't say it's a mystery movie. That might be a little, but it's definitely got a suspense to it where you're constantly trying to, along with Frank Sinatra, trying to figure out what this plot is and its ability to kind of drip feed you the rather obvious clues. After you've watched the movie, all the clues are kind of super obvious, but at the same time it still provides you a way to just kind of latch on for the ride. You're there for the ride and you're there right beside Frank Sinatra, and it's just the way they deliver it. It's got a great suspense feel to it.
Totally agreed. I alongside that, we've talked about, I think, him in the context of some other movie that's escaping me right now.
Die Hard.
Frank Sinatra?
Well, it's a whole thing. It was with the rights of, I think we talked about Die Hard.
Oh, he was supposed to be...
Yeah.
Or
it's based on a Frank Sinatra movie or something. It's something like that.
Yeah. But yeah, we don't really know his acting career.
No.
I should say, I don't really know his acting career.
No, I don't either.
This is good work by him, and that was my first positive. I mean, I saw him on screen. You kind of go, "That's Frank Sinatra," and then he does a good enough job that I've now sort of disintegrated him into his character and not Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I've heard his music, but I've never had this attachment to any of his personality, other than the memes of ring-a-ding-ding, yada yada. But this movie allowed me to actually see, oh wow, it's kind of the opposite of what we saw in The Preacher's Wife.
Totally.
We have this big star, big singer, who isn't, probably technically an actor, but they're able to actually show their abilities to display emotional range and intrigue and an actual character, beneath the character, just their quirks. So it is actually really nice to see that not only Frank Sinatra was great, but I think the rest of the cast was awesome too.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone. I'm trying to think. Maybe the mom was like slightly overacted, but
But you can't hate
besides,
on Angela Lansbury.
I can. But everyone
No,
besides her, I think, did a phenomenal job, and she did fine.
no, I love Angela Lansbury. Yeah, just I mean, I maybe I even just loved her character more than her. But
Right? No, no, I'll
I
agree with
love
that. The
that part.
character is good. I just don't know that she was great. But again, she was fine. Like she did no major wrongs.
I'll especially say the unit, all the actors in the unit were great. I mean, especially I didn't get his name. What was the guy's name? The actual sleeper agent. What was the actor's name?
Mr. Shaw? Oh, the actor. Lawrence Harvey?
Sure. He's great. I think he might have been in Columbo. I remember seeing him in some 70s something, so I just assumed Columbo. But he's great as, you know, his kind of he's got this intensity and then the unraveling of said intensity, and then he
He's
kind
in
of
a
brings it
single episode of Columbo. How do you
boom.
remember him from that?
Because I love Columbo. The original run is amazing. Fantastic TV, but that's besides the point. I will say, you know, the acting's great. I even think the direction was pretty good. There might not have been any crazy symbology or anything like that, but it was upfront about everything, you know, other than maybe the mind control sequence. It wasn't out of the realm, you know, it wasn't crazy or anything like that. It didn't try to step outside into more of an auteur film, but I did love the direction of the brainwashing sequence where it kind of shifted from the gardener to the whatever the medical theater they were in.
Yeah. Medical,
Shifted from
medical.
that and then shifted characters and then shifted random set pieces and then shifted characters. It was just kind of confusing the audience. I think that was fantastic. Uh, there are just a lot of sequence, including the editing. It's a very smart movie.
Yeah, I mean, fully agree. I would say, uh, alongside the smart aspect, the writing is toit. Um, and I'm sure there are probably just based on the way it feels like some of the scenes were done, it wasn't like fully the director's vision, but there was clearly a lot of like, if not stage direction on the script, clear depictions of scenery and set as opposed to just single, you know, fade in play with a sniper in hand, you know,
Right.
um, or a balcony with sniper in hand. The point about it being tight, though, I would say, like every character is both grounded and real, and then somehow like whimsical and capable of being brainwashed and then fucking rogue terrorist agent and all of the like House of Cardsy espionage and double crossing and politic you know, with the K at the end.
Yeah.
And it all
Mhm.
feels so smartly executed on the page. And it translates so well because everyone does such a great job interpreting it. That yeah, I think the writing was phenomenal.
Yeah, and to add to that, I think it presented these characters, obviously, you know, a movie, whatever, ensemble cast, yada yada. But it's as though every character had their own very specific story. You know, even if you chose one character to just really love, they had so much screen time, which is incredible how they were able to share so much screen time without just giving away the plot. But they have so much screen time that if any character strikes your eye, you know, you can attach to that character and have a fulfilling, you know, ending or a complete story or arc to them, no matter which character. I think that's great. I mean, whether it was Frank Sinatra, the senator, you know, Angel Lansbury, her son, the sleeper agent, whether it's Frank Sinatra's lover who kind of came out of nowhere, but whatever, not even really a negative. But they just, I don't know, they all felt alive. So not only was it a smart and tight script, it's also kind of a vivid and I don't know, not picturesque, but imaginative. There we go. So every character has their own little corner of the movie to satisfy. I also think its depiction of PTSD was actually really awesome.
You
I think
think
subtle for
PTSD
the
is awesome
time.
is the takeaway?
No, their depiction of it. I think it was subtle enough that it actually kind of felt realistic and grounded, even though it was made in a time where movies are kind of over the top. I mean, even this movie suffers from that sometimes, but like the actual trauma these characters go through, and it's not as though they're not, none of the characters are emasculated or anything like that. It's just they have trauma and they're trying to deal with it, and it does it in a very tasteful way, if you will. I also loved the Dr. Yin, the villain. I
Yeah,
thought he was great. I mean, he was menacing. Which is, if you're gonna have a villain, make him a badass.
agreed.
And he was eating up all the scenes, all of his dialogue and kind of quips, his witty quips were great. How he was kind of half joking with everybody, but that dude would fuck you up, kind of thing. Um, yeah.
Since you brought him up, I want to make my comment about him. I agree. Probably my favorite character in this whole thing. Not necessarily the best actor, but my favorite character.
Yeah, for sure.
And I want that to be clear. But holy fuck, did whoever put him in this find the most like racially ambiguous person on planet Earth? And this is probably needs to be an etc., but it must be mentioned, and I don't want to forget about it. I pulled up his wiki. I paused the movie and pulled up his wiki to see like what the fuck is this guy? Because like maybe he's Chinese, but I really don't think so. I think this is just like a case of get someone who isn't obviously white. And it turns out his mother is Spanish, English, Egyptian, and Chinese, and his father is Portuguese, Italian, and Zulu.
That'll do it. I mean,
yeah, he's got every continent, bro.
You can play any guy, any person, any country with that.
Yeah, and you shave him bald and give him some sort of arbitrary East Asian accent. Boom, he's East Asian. Give him a slight African accent. Boom, he's like an Anglo-African guy. You give him an American accent. Boom, he's an American.
He could easily
guy.
do
Like,
Eastern
anything.
European, kind of that Northern. He could definitely do that too. Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, I think he was a great part. His character was great. The actor was great. I think he was a very solid, valid villain. I think that's kind of the big issue, is that he's valid. It's not just he's evil for being evil. I mean, he might be, but at least he has these nuances that allow you to enjoy his evil. Some evil bad guys are just kind of evil, and it's not really okay. You're scared or whatever. Or, the characters are scared, but this character is just kind of conniving and almost snake-like. So yeah, I think that's all my positives. I did say audio design was great, but I don't have a specific, so we're just gonna leave it at that. Audio design was apparently good.
Yeah. I have one last one, which is really just like I think the neat bow that sort of probably is going to be our summary, maybe. As we talked about, it's really, really sharp, super like intelligently written. And in combination with that, probably a bit of luck and probably knowing, quote unquote, what I'm going to call source material well, aka like U.S. geopolitical conflicts. It just lasts. Like this is just as alive and real and topical today, as it was over 60 years ago.
Literally.
And it does not do it any disservice, even though it is an obviously old movie.
Yep.
I mean,
totally
that speaks to the standard. There are clearly Hitchcock movies that can't do that. There are clearly, all of these like old legendary films that, again, sometimes can do it, most of the time can't do it. And this one is just one of those that, I mean, you could probably watch this for the next 60 years and totally be enchanted by it.
Yeah, no, I think this movie will, I mean, I assume some critic, at the time said this movie's going to age well, and look at where we're at now. I mean, totally. 60 years later, and we're literally raving about a political movie's relevance. Yeah, the screenwriters, or is it based on a book? I assume pretty much every old movie's based on a book, so I just assumed. But whatever, whoever was just a freaking soothsayer who can just, I don't know, see the patterns. It really, it's just a testament to how smart this movie is. I'll also say, oh, okay. I'll also point out I had a little small positive. I really love that one scene where you got to see the TV feed and the scene happening behind the TV.
Totally.
You'd
Like
see
they
the
were both in
senator, then
focus.
yes.
Yep.
That was an awesome scene. So you know what? I kind of downplayed the direction, but maybe the direction's actually awesome. So
No,
I
the
take it
direction's
back.
very good. The cinematography's good. The direction's good. Like even really simple things that I think weren't necessarily hard at the time, but I would say were uncommon of the time,
Mhm.
are like when he goes sleeper agent mode and he's in the cafe, and then he like suddenly gets up, he's walking out, he like goes to the park and like jumps in the lake.
Mhm.
That sequence from when they like switch from the cafe or whatever diner to the park, and you're
Right.
watching him sort of run down the bridge and off and into the thing, that's sort of like, I'm going to call it a one shot. It's not clearly a one shot, but like it's a mini one shot where you sort of track the actor doing this big thing, and obviously
Mhm.
he's getting like his whole costume wet and ruined, and to do the camera panning and set that shot up and get all the people out of the background and what I assume to be Central Park in New York, like those are not small feats, and to get all that done on what I will tell you the budget is pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. I mean, I believe you. But yeah, I mean, like you said, just all the shots feel they have this impressive quality that maybe not in the year 2026 you're blown away by, but you can easily see how in 1962 this would blow people's minds. If
Right.
someone said this their favorite movie of all time and they were older, I would say, okay, yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, I get it. I hated McCarthy too. It probably speaks a lot about them. Like they might not be the worst people.
Or they actually didn't understand any of the resemblances to anything.
Sure, that's fair. Yeah, they just hate commies.
Yeah.
That was their takeaway.
They said, I told you they're evil. Okay.
All right,
Is that
negatives.
all your positives? Okay.
Yep.
Negatives, I have two, very specific, and they're really one's meh, the other one kind of an issue. I will say there's a slight racism. Maybe not even slight. Like how it was talking about, what'd they even say? It was when Dr. Yin was talking to his assistant. I don't know. They said something.
You're
I was just
hoping
like,
I
oh,
remember
great
for
guys.
you? Is that what you're hoping for?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're usually good about catching the racism. So yeah, I thought so.
Well, I mean, when the whole plot is anti-China, it's easy for this to be right. I sort of just let it go and chalk it up
Well,
to old.
I don't know if it's anti-China.
You joking?
No, because the Dr. Yin was separate from the Chinese. Dr. Yin's kind of like his own entity. Sure, it's helping the Chinese and the Russians.
Right.
But I don't know. I don't know if it's anti-Chinese.
Sure. Whatever you say.
Because, well, I mean, the Chinese delegation in the medical theater was a very separate entity from Dr. Yin.
Okay, agreed.
I mean, so I just assume he's not actually working for anybody. He's working for Dr. Yin.
Yeah, he's working for hire, and this happens to be a project he's involved with. They paid him the most, blah, blah, blah.
Anti-commies, sure.
Yeah, but I mean, at the time, communism equals China,
And Russia, and Korea.
Right. Who were all involved.
Yeah. So I don't know.
And there were also, I'm sure, slights against those individuals too, like those ethnic groups as well.
I don't know. I just don't know if it's anti-China as much as just anti whatever group, fake. They didn't have a cool name like Allies and Axis, whatever, the other side. Yeah, I'll say that the slight racism and the fight scene was awful. Hated that. That took me out of the movie. Multiple, just that fight scene with him and the fake assistant, whatever. That was awful. Took me out of the movie. Obviously, it's very of the time. The choreography's so weird, and Frank Sinatra doing these quasi judo stances. Just terrible. Just terrible. That's all my negatives.
I pretty much had one, and you're gonna disagree with me, which I think, thank God, is the first time in a while. But yeah, it was such a step below, I feel like, the rest of the cast, even though it wasn't painfully bad. But yeah, what's her name?
Angela Lansbury?
Lansbury, thank you. Dame Angela
Wow.
Lansbury. Mids.
Wow. That is a hot take right there. You
That was
even
pretty much my only
watched
negative. I think.
hundreds of episodes of Murder, She Wrote, bro?
Nope.
I think that's your problem. You need to watch hundreds
Yeah.
of episodes of
Nor
Murder,
Picture of Dorian Gray, nor Gaslight. None of them.
Gaslight's actually where we get Gaslight. That's all your negatives?
Yeah, literally, I didn't write anything else down.
All right, well,
I was entranced and I was happy. And I
like
was like,
we
thank God, a
said,
real movie.
yeah, like we said, very solid movie, an actual film that you can watch in pretty much any year and get enjoyment out of, and not just be relevant. Maybe if you're not American, you might not get anything out of this, but if you know American geopolitics, you'll enjoy this. Any etc. you want or you have?
Oh, I mean, a huge wiki amount of etc., but nothing specific.
Your
that
personal
I noticed in the
etc.
movie. Yeah,
Okay.
no. It was going to be the Dr. Yen stuff, but
I had two. One, I mean, we've already mentioned it. I said I love how this is still politically relevant because, again, the commies, Red Scare, complain about liberals, Republican making up numbers. I'm just saying. Then we have, oh yeah, my other etc. The opening credits. What was the shape in the middle?
mm,
The opening credits, it has the queen, the card, the Queen of Diamonds. It has her face cut out on this shape. And I don't know what that's representing, and it's even on the posters. And I'm still thoroughly confused. Maybe I'm dumb. But it didn't look like anything to me. So the whole opening credits, I was just trying to figure out what shape it's going for, and I had nothing. Is there anything? Did you know what the shape was?
okay, so you're talking about prior to the opening scene when they cut to the credits and
Like
they're just
the
naming
actual opening
people,
credits. Yeah.
and there's just some like hole shaped thing.
Yeah, the whole thing.
And there's the Queen of Hearts on the top and then the names on the bottom. What is the shape of the hole?
Yeah, I mean, like, what is that?
I assume it's just no one back then had a stencil and they just sort of free-handed a circle cutout to put this and try to
There's
make
no
it
way
look
that
cool.
can't be a circle.
I don't think it was supposed to be like a peephole. I don't think it was supposed to be no, not that they couldn't get a stencil. I'm just saying no one had one. Like they were like, it doesn't need to be a perfect circle.
I just don't know what's that, because if it were a circle, you might think it's a political badge, which would make perfect sense.
Or like a peephole or
but
something.
It looks like a rock. And it's even on the poster. So it's not even just they were aiming for a circle. I mean, the artist literally used that thing. And I don't know if I missed some context or there's just some sort of historical context, but I don't know what this blob is, what the thing is. So I'd love an answer to that, but hopes for the reboot.
I mean,
I don't know.
One, color will be nice.
Yeah.
Could make it feel a little bit more lively and quote unquote real.
Yeah, but 2004, that camera work, you never know.
This one is Denzel, right?
Denzel, yeah. I don't know which character he's playing. I assume Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, I assume Frank Sinatra, right? Not the guy who's going to be murking people, but
I don't know.
Who'll be helping him get out of it. Or attempting to understand it, I guess is a better way of saying it. But yeah, I think Denzel can do Denzel things and be a bigger, better. Again, theoretically, be a bigger, better Sinatra.
Sure.
And besides those things, I honestly think they're probably going to try to do more to make it contemporary and put too many topical things that it's probably going to be a deboot. But I can be hopeful. I can hope.
Yeah, no, I mean, I hope the movie just literally just modernize the original, and that's all they would have to do. They could probably even keep the script almost word for word. But we've been doing this long enough to know that's never what they do. So,
Yeah.
even if they're a remake, they never keep the script word for word.
Yeah, or when they fucking do for some reason, it's the Jesus roles, and you're like, why is this the same movie?
Yeah, or they shove it in for no reason. Yeah, it's hard to balance, but I hope they just kind of modernize the movie. I hope Denzel, I mean, Frank Sinatra was good, even great, but Denzel's Denzel, hard to top. I mean, even Preacher's Wife, which was garbage, he was still awesome. Um, my fear, yeah, I think your fears are correct. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. We're going to have multiple factions instead of just rogue communist guy versus America. We're gonna have like, oh well, the Taliban, or I don't know what's 2004, the Taliban or somebody. I'm
Yeah,
actually,
pretty much it.
I'm even curious
All
how it's
four.
even called the Manchurian Candidate, because I don't know. I don't know.
It's
2004.
probably just an homage. It's probably not some kind of like Chinese infiltration kind of thing.
Well, I mean, you never know. I don't know. But yeah, I think that kind of sums up my hopes and fears. Is that this is a great movie, so the room for downwards is there's a lot of room for that, and then
Right. The part of the spectrum that includes this movie is very, very tiny, and the part that does not is below it and very, very big.
yeah. So I mean, I hope, but I don't know. 2004, some directors that was kind of hit and miss year. Kind of Ridley Scott was taking over everything, and his style, not.
Yeah. It's gonna be Michael Bay style. It's just gonna be big explosions, and it's
I
gonna be like
don't.
Jason Bourne.
I don't know who directed the reboot, so I don't. I have no inclination as to
Yeah,
what
me
the
neither.
style
I
is
have
going
no
to be.
clue.
All
Um,
right, your turn
Wiki and
for yes,
Letterbox.
sir.
So Wiki, lots of stuff here. Obviously, first and foremost, this is a adaptation of a book.
Classic.
As
Every
most
good.
good movies fucking are, apparently.
It's
Just
true.
someone reads something and goes, "Holy fuck, I got an idea," and you're like, "No, bro, he had an idea, and you're translating it into a movie."
It blows my mind
Um,
how many movies are actually books.
yeah, and the good ones too. Like
Oh
not
yeah.
just how many movies, but how many of the good ones.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and obviously most of the stuff blah blah blah. Let's get to the big picture things. The budget at the time 2.2 milli for 1960s,
That's a lot.
sometime between 1960 and 1962 in terms of starting filming and getting all the people together and starting to spend the money. And it released in 1962, so it's about 10 mil for the uh, conversion. And so about 5 of those mil went to Sinatra.
Frankie. Yep. Yeah, I could guess that.
Right. So that means they spent, 1 million then, 5 million now to do all of the shots, all the scoring, all the direction, all the, cinematography and the renting out Central Park and all of it. I mean, that's dope.
I know the actors on set were probably professional and loved meeting Frank and yada yada, but that would drive me crazy.
Yeah, I would fucking murk someone.
Half the budget is spent on this one actor who, he's great, from an audience point of view, but who knows how many takes that took, or, if there were issues with the other actors, or the other actors were just like, oh, this is his acting. Okay. Like,
Right. Or, didn't he have like some serious problems like drinking and shit
well, I
and
mean,
women and staying out late and the whole thing? Like,
1962, that's probably most
well,
men, most show
right.
business.
All I meant is, I'm sure there's some of that at least leaking into the set. I doubt he's like fucking stone cold clean and coming in totally fine and professional. You know what I mean? Like he's got like mafia connections and all sorts of shit.
I'm sure he's totally on time every day too.
Right. But besides those things, it's mostly like production-y stuff and reception-y stuff and just like big commentary stuff that takes up the majority of the wiki page. So I told you about the half. Initially, he wanted Lucille Ball instead of Janet Leigh as the hot thing.
Sure. I feel like that's such an inconsequential part of the movie that sure.
Or excuse me, not as the hot thing. Eugene and Eleanor, I can't read. The mom instead of Angela Lansbury.
Oh.
Lucille Ball was going to be the mom.
Does that math
and I guess I just don't have the timing. Yeah, like she would have been 50. Yeah, I guess that's about right.
Is it?
Yeah. think
How
so.
old was her son, or the actor's
Angela
son?
Lansbury was like 40 at the time, so she's like 10 years older.
How? But do we have the age of the soldier son, the Manchurian candidate?
He was 30 something.
Huh. Weird.
No, honestly, Angela Lansbury was young and they
Yeah,
made her look older.
they probably should have cast either. I mean, they probably should have not cast either of those actors and just gotten an older actress. I never freaking Hollywood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Hollywood.
Old women, they hate
Hollywood's from
them.
Hollywood. Then da-da-da. Yeah, although Lansbury played Ray Shaw's mother, she was in fact only 3 years older than her on-screen son.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, because he looked old for a guy just out of the army.
Next, the sort of pretty girl that he runs away with, Shaw, or tries to him with, and then Merc. Spoilers. They, I had never heard of her before. Janet Leigh.
Janet Leigh. I don't know. Maybe need a face.
She is the mom of Jamie Lee Curtis.
Ah, so Jamie Lee Curtis is the Nepo baby. That's what you just told me.
Nepo baby, exactly. And
damn it.
Apparently there was some Turner Classic movie about, or biography about her mom. And in that, Jamie Lee Curtis talks about how her dad served her mom, the actress in this movie, divorce papers on that scene when they first meet on the train. That's like when her mom got served divorce papers.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's some baller
facts you wanted to know.
Yeah, that's some baller shit right there.
Otherwise, as you could have guessed, it was filmed in New York. They supposedly, this fight scene is like one of the earliest depictions of martial arts in mainstream Hollywood. So maybe this didn't have to have a lot to go off of.
Was it all filmed in New York?
New York City, and then there was a couple of like the studios, like the set pieces that were in LA.
Okay, because
like the the Manchurian arena hypnotizing thing, I probably was a.
Well, I assumed the fake Korea they were in was just, I don't know, Malibu.
Right.
Because it looked like MASH. Because MASH is just, shot wherever, Malibu or whatever. And it's like, oh yeah, this is Korea.
And then just a funny sort of timing thing, obviously, but, Manchurian Candidate released in 1962. And then it wouldn't be until 1975 when all of the MK Ultra stuff comes out.
Wow.
And so shortly after that, Sinatra, who got the rights to the film, then re-released it. And so there's two different sets of box offices for this. So it did okay when it first came out, made 3.3 mil, or essentially from the 10 total to spend, it made, again, roughly 15.
Not great.
So didn't do great, but did fine. Paid off Sinatra's budget at least.
Yeah, that's what it did for sure.
But then when they re-released it in the late 70s, 7.7 million on that re-release.
I mean, that's just smart. That's smart business right there.
Yeah. So total gross box office somewhere around probably 20 to 25 mil, depending on conversions and which years exactly things happen. But.
So Frank Sinatra was just a smart guy, is what I'm getting from that.
Business savvy, yeah, sure.
I mean, seems like a smart guy. Who would think to re-release their old movie just because of its political relevance? That's pretty freaking smart.
My last thing, you and the Academy have similar tastes because it won Best Editing and it also won Best Supporting Actress. It was nominated for those two things, didn't win. And that was Angela Lansbury.
Boom. The Academy finally gets it. Wait, no, she didn't even win, so I guess they got it wrong again.
Yeah.
The Academy.
All right, and then I have quite a lot of them just because some of them were silly, and most of them were those big, windy, film buffy ones that I did not want to read. So I tried to fish through all of them to find some.
Hey, I'm here for it, but get them along.
Half Star by Christine. My class forced us to watch this version instead of the 2004 one. The entire class clowned on him the whole time in the Zoom chat. Half a star.
Sorry, what?
Riley, I hate Americans. 1 star.
But this was very anti-American.
I know. People are just these are the dumb people who don't deserve to have their opinion shared on the internet.
If you can't gather that this is almost as anti-American as it can be, literally just as it physically possibly can be, I don't know what to tell you.
McKay wrote, "Holy fuck, this is the most boomer thing I've ever seen. 1.5 stars."
I feel sad for these people.
2.5 stars by Alland Films. The Manchurian Candidate is a good political thriller from 1962 by John Frankenheimer. The film lasts 160 minutes, and for me, it felt really long, but the ending was convincing. Just like so much of the copy paste from Wiki to just say it felt really long, but the ending was convincing.
The ending was convincing.
Yeah, make it make sense. I don't know.
The ending was convincing. Convincing of the ending?
Yep.
Just convincing. Yeah, okay, yeah, yep.
3.5 stars from Laura Pop. This movie is Angela Lansbury in full badass mode and Frank Sinatra in full anxious mode, and the combination of the two, full hypnotization mode. Bye-bye, Ace of Spades, the Queen of Diamonds has taken over.
And she gave it a 7 out of
10. Yep.
Love that.
Matt Lynch, frequent reviewer that we seem to be reading. 4 stars, all caps, the Red Queen kills 7 times.
I mean, okay. Yeah, sure.
Netscape, 4.5 stars. Loved the evil Chinese doctor in this so much. Same.
Not wrong. No, yeah. I'm not detecting any dishonesty.
And 5 stars, Lansbury by Fran Hopfner.
Yeah, because Angela Lansbury is in the minds of millions through Murder, She Wrote. So when people see her outside of that, it's always a treat.
And finally, the only good review, 5 stars by Quinn Bailey. The Manchurian Candidate is the kindest, bravest, warmest, most wonderful movie I've ever known in my life.
That's so good. Damn. Props to that guy. That's really good.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
That's good.
Damn. We might have just been out reviewed there. All right. Is that it? Okay, that has been part 1 of The Manchurian Candidate. Join us in a few seconds when we talk about the 2004 version. And welcome back to Reboot or Deboot. Now we are talking about the 2004 version of The Manchurian Candidate, directed by Jonathan and written by Daniel Pine and Dean Georgeris. Big picture.
Big pile of shit.
Yep. Yep. I think I've said this statement, I don't know, 5 or 6 times, that in a vacuum, this movie might be something, but we don't live in that vacuum, so it's not. It's
right. There is a universe where a better one was made, and then they decided to remake it because contemporary problems, aka U.S. geopolitical problems, literally since its inception.
Yeah. My big picture, my big takeaway is they murdered my boy, kind of thing. Like, what did you do to my boy?
My son.
Yeah. That's what it felt like about halfway through the movie. Or
my
actually, I mean, just from
boy.
just from the intro. Yeah, that's my big picture. You want to get into the specifics?
Yeah, I mean, for starters, I do think there are positives here, which is a nice
handful. Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, not a mind blowing amount, or else we'd be saying this is a good movie. But there are positives, more than I think I gave credit to in the OG. Whereas I think the first one that I can mention, Meryl Streep does a better job than whatever that old lady is that you like.
Angela Lansbury.
Yeah, I mean, come on, Meryl Streep, bro.
I mean, I was
her. Like, am I a totalitarian dictator? She was inspiring me with that speech at the beginning.
Yeah. So the acting? Yeah, I mean, I'll agree. I mean, Denzel did his. I don't actually think Denzel really stepped out of his comfort, which isn't a bad thing. It's just
Right.
I think I've
He
seen
was
Denzel do this.
exactly. He was totally locked into usual Denzel mode, which is
Yeah,
goated,
hmm
but not like exceptional.
but I did thoroughly enjoy Liev Schreiber. I think he's a great
Oh yeah.
actor. I think he played the stoic Shaw very well. I mean, if he didn't watch the original movie, then that's amazing because I think he captured that character really well, as opposed to, again, Denzel. I don't think Denzel was really playing Sinatra's character. It didn't, there was a disconnect there. Whereas Shaw kind of seemed exactly the same. Well, other than little small plot things, but he was still playing that character. Yeah, I don't know. Meryl Streep is fine. She's fine. I didn't exactly, you know, absolutely love it. I also didn't really understand the point of having someone big like John Voight be the other congressman. Felt kind of
Right.
like a waste. 'Cause
Agreed.
he didn't do bad. It's just he was kind of just there. And then spoilers to die. Um, I don't know. The acting was good. It was good. I don't know if it was that crazy though. Um, do you have any more positives?
Well, just a quick piggyback. It's not really a negative or positive, but
Hmm.
on the note of random actors being in this thing,
Yeah, there's a lot.
Jeffrey Wright, Ted Levine, the guy
Anthony
from
Mackie.
Monk. Yeah, Anthony Mackie is the soldier in the beginning randomly.
Yeah, and he looks young.
Yeah, like sure. I mean, cool. Everyone's got to get their start and has supporting roles and a bunch of shit that they do because they're actors and they're just trying to get their money. But
Still crazy
weird.
how many were in this movie, or
Yeah,
how many of their careers were affected by this movie.
yeah.
Um,
Paul Lazar.
which one was that one?
He was the Gillespie guy. He's got like the cross-eyed thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and
If you don't know
Andy,
who he is, he's like a big theater guy.
mm, and you got Liev Schreiber's brother Pablo playing the soldier that gets, you know, brainwashed, killed.
True, true.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot of actors in this one. My other positive, so this is a half positive, half negative. I those talking head like mid shots that were just constant, those perspective shots every
Mm-hmm.
time there was a conversation or sort of any sort of speech. Uh, I liked those, but he used it so many times that it became a negative. I actually, I thought, oh, that's cool because the character, that's what the character's saying. Okay, I get it. The character's POV or whatever. But then he literally did it every single conversation, and it just kind of the novelty wore off really quick. So it is a positive, but there's a negative piggyback that it was overused. So I wouldn't say
Yeah,
I
I
love the direction.
no, I. So this is an aside, maybe an etc., and also a comment on the negatives. So apologies that I can't stick to the positive, but you brought it up.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy Deme, whatever the fuck his name is, the director,
Mm-hmm.
um, obviously a big famous director that we obviously did not know the name of very well before this. For behind the scenes, we were looking on his wiki earlier. The close-ups and the weird talking heads, as you said, obviously a lot of the musical choices give
Oh,
this
we
a
didn't even
very
get into the musical
I know,
choices.
I know, I know, because those are negative, I think. But those all to me are all stylistic things of the time. This
Mm,
feels very 2004 in its direction, and not
yes.
necessarily a this guy. However, it could have been, and this is the aside that will be now and etc. PTA, your fucking one and only,
Not
your
one and
one true
only. He
god.
just makes really good movies.
He says he's a major influence, like this guy Deme.
Really?
And in an interview, he was asked like name his three favorite filmmakers, and he said Jonathan Demme, Jonathan Demme, Jonathan Demme.
Crazy.
Yeah.
To be
so like,
fair, PTA's career was already started before Manchurian came out, so
right,
deflection.
right. And again, Silence of the Lambs came out before this, which is clearly a good
Right.
movie. But supposedly him and Alexander Payne say that they were like largely inspired by this guy to do close-ups in their own work. So I think like this is definitely some shit that he does, and it definitely didn't service this movie well.
No,
So
because
I agree. It's a negative. I think the direction was bad. I'm just saying for context, it seems like this is something this guy does, but it's also 2004
oh
coded in my
crap, we're
head.
not even on negatives. You're getting ahead.
I know. But I said it was all tied in together.
But yeah, okay, so back to the positive. I didn't love the direction, but I guess I liked that he at least tried things. Whether those came out, or worked out, that's a negative actually. And I don't have many other positives, there's the very serviceable things like the costuming and the set. There's no problems, but they're not really standout pieces for me. The only other real positive I have is kind of the twist that it's not exactly the same as the original. And it's not because, oh, it's better. It's just it did something that actually surprised me, I guess, or actually was slightly exciting. And I don't know if that's because the rest of the movie wasn't, I don't know whether
You
it
want to comment
was
specifically on what you're alluding to?
like the twist, just the whole that he's the assassin, that Frank Sinatra's Denzel's the assassin.
Right.
Just
And
like
not
that
the
whole
switch
twist.
was right.
Yeah, because that made sense within the confines of this plot, and so that was interesting to me. But I don't know if it's because everything else was so middling, in my opinion, that I see this one flicker of light, and I go, "Oh yeah, okay, that's a positive." But that's all my positives. I don't have a lot.
Damn. Again, these are real small, nothing humongous to the overall, because again, I think we can both agree this is not a very good movie.
Nope.
And certainly
It's
not
a
recommended over the original. But the like general things, I think this is a prettier movie, even though we were just shitting on the direction. Like, I think,
I mean, 2004 film work,
right.
it does have a look.
Again, I don't know that it's phenomenal or exceptional.
Just prettier.
Is it better? Yeah. Is it better? I think so. So that was a small positive I made.
They had better cameras. That's the positive.
And well, no, and then there's a bit more of like a crazy element underlying this one as a plot device.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
but I would want
like
to add an
thriller
addendum
adjacent.
to that. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. That's it. I was just gonna say, so that's different. I don't know that it's inherently better, but it does serve this one's plot better. Whereas the other one, sort of that, again, I don't even know. What would you even classify the genre of the other one?
I mean, I still think it's a thriller. It was of the time, I mean, there's just a certain point where thrillers became what we associate them as, like, I mean, a lot of Hitchcock movies are quote unquote thrillers, but you watch them today and, yeah, I don't know about thrilling, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Neo-noir political thriller.
Perfect.
This is what that's called. And this one's considered a neo-noir psychological political thriller.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I do enjoy the fact that you almost feel a little manic, especially at the beginning. It does help that feeling of paranoia, but I didn't see it as an improvement was my problem. Especially, I mean, we're still in the positives technically, but do you have any more positives before I go on a tangent?
No, go.
Okay, two negatives. Specifically the brainwashing sequence, I thought was so just uninspired, edgy music video feeling late 90s. It almost felt like a Rob Zombie music video where it's supposed to be quote unquote, I don't know, evil or whatever. They're trying to get that dark, gritty vibe, but compared to the originals, almost, I don't know about poetic's not the right word, but I think they had an amazing way how to convey the brainwashing. Whereas this, it's literally dudes strapped to a chair being brainwashed. I mean, it's just the most vanilla milk toast. Here's what MK Ultra looks like, and that just it paled in comparison for me because the original, I love that brainwashing sequence.
Right, and again, heavy-handed music choices, this rapid
music.
cutting,
We can
the
go to the
shaky
music.
cam.
We can go to all these things.
Like that whole scene is driven by all of these other negative components to the movie, and it has, like, again, you say Rob Zombie, I think more Marilyn Manson, Nine Inch Nails, grungy 90s, early 2000s bullshit.
Trying to be edgy, yeah.
Yeah. So, again, not my cup of tea.
Yeah, and if we want to piggyback off that, the music, the score, I felt was distracting at times, and then they said, hey, what if Wyclef Jean sang, what was that, CCR song?
Yeah, and that was literally like the intro, wasn't it? Like, that was like right
and
at
the ending.
They let off with that shit.
I think it's the end credits too. And I'm just thinking, what are we doing here? What is music by Wyclef Jean? It doesn't even thematically. I'm just kind of thinking, what are we doing here? And then the score itself was distracting at times. You know what? Talking about the intros, why did it feel as though there were two intros? We had the text intro that was them playing cards in the Humvee or whatever, right?
Right, and then it's him.
And then another text intro. Yeah, or not text intro. Intro credits.
Voiceover.
No, just like intro credits, not text intro, but like intro credits. We had two very specific segments in the movie that were just intro credits, and that felt a little weird just right off the bat. Then you had the awful, probably okay at the time, the CGI with the war scene looked so bad. I mean, so bad.
Honestly, it didn't even blow my mind as bad as a later CGI scene.
Oh, I mean, you want to talk about
it? Yeah. Again, one of my negatives, a small but important one, when he's having those non-flashback dream sequence one, and it does cut to a war thing, and there's literally like a cartoon rendition of him.
Oh yeah. I forgot to write that down.
I was like, what in the fuck is this?
Oh wait, I put dream scene. Yep, there it is.
Yeah. I was like, why are we like, what is happening?
Yeah, and I mean, again, just these things just pile on top of each other because the movie is so of the time, and that, I guess, was kind of my fear because movies in 2004, it's either you're this crazy banger that can be watched for 50 years, or you're 2004. And I don't know, or like early 2000s. I don't know if that's specific, or maybe it's just, my frame of reference, but it does nothing to carry over. This movie is somehow less relevant than the original. Explain that one to me, Yeah. Explain that one to me. The original felt as though it could have been made yesterday. This one could have been made in 2004. And there's no other time. I also didn't love the plot changes. I don't know why Shaw was a full-on congressman and he had the mood change stuff. It wasn't just this sleeper call that activated him. He had this like bipolar-ish. I don't, it's weird. She says the code word and then he's this different person and you pretty much know when he is brainwashed throughout the movie. So it's not as though it's trying to play with your senses of, oh, is he a good guy or bad guy, as much as it thinks it's doing that,
Totally.
I didn't love the TV homage.
Wait. If you're gonna say the sleeper agent one, I get to say,
yeah.
Why the fuck did they change the activation?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why they
Why is
changed
it
any of
just
that.
their name?
Yeah.
How often is someone going to say their name and just fucking trigger them?
Yeah, I mean, your mom will never ever say your full name ever again, or no legal system will ever say your full name. What if they're in
You're in
court?
front of the court, and they're like, "Are you John Hancock?"
Yeah,
No.
Major John Lee Hancock. Yeah, no, the sleeper stuff, I don't think it made as much sense. And why did they get rid of the cool Queen of Diamonds kind of imagery? Why did we get rid of the solitaire thing? I thought the solitaire was this kind of nice layer of representation of, I don't know, just almost solitude, or but then they said no, never mind. We're not gonna do that. And I don't know why they changed the things they did, I guess is my biggest issue. I honestly,
same question.
and I honestly hate how they shoehorned the Manchurian thing. Oh, it's a
See,
company.
I didn't hate that much. I don't hate that.
I just felt as though it was kind of a cop out. I'd rather you not mention the word. It's called the Manchurian Candidate.
I know, but why would it be called the Manchurian Candidate?
Because you're a reboot.
This at least makes it make sense. I know, but I mean, then they have to make China the ones doing it, which they didn't do. This is a fine enough thing because this guy's at least a literal Manchurian Candidate. You had an issue with the film even being called Manchurian Candidate in the first time.
No, I just said it wasn't anti-Chinese. Separate. Separate issue. Okay, maybe I don't hate it as much as I don't like their reason. How about that? I don't like that this company of 3 white guys is named Manchurian.
That might be the most realistic thing that happened.
I mean, you know what? You're probably right. My next negative is the talking head overuse shot. And then my next one after that is it's just so overly complicated for no reason.
Yes. Dude, that was literally the only one I wrote down. Because again, I rarely write these down. I just sort of let them freeform and remember what I need to remember.
Right.
Music, cutscenes, those kind of things. But holy fuck, I was like, for an old movie with a complicated plot, which old movies tend to not have, not saying that they don't have them, but they tend to not have.
Mm-hmm.
This was somehow like infinitely more contrived than the original. And the original wasn't like the simplest, straightforward plot of all time.
No, they felt the need to add these layers of, how paranoid he gets, and then
Rosie, the double agent.
Yeah, Rosie's actually an FBI agent. Shaw, they're both actually, brainwashed. Oh, the congressman, it doesn't matter if the congressman gets killed. It's just kind of a vanity for the mom thing. Oh, the mom's in love with the son. There's just so many layers.
Yeah, the kissing the fucking son on the mouth. God damn.
Oh, I have an etc. about that one. And it's just, why did we feel the need to do these things? Even if it may be closer to the book. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't matter. The movie just had this, the original movie, had this great blueprint. And then the reboot said, yeah, how about no? How about we don't do that? And it just added these layers that I think they might have thought added some sort of modern sophistication or something like that, some sort of contemporary feel, but it just kind of became redundant after a while, to the point that I was watching the movie, but I was checked out about 3/4 in. I was fully checked out until the main climax sequence.
Right, the climax, sure.
And then my next one is she's actually a Fed in all caps. So we just talked about that. His girlfriend, who's been working at the grocery store for 6 years or something, is actually
the whole reason. Like, do you understand how they even got to her apartment?
Wait,
like,
what do you
how
mean?
did he go from some crazy bitch basically followed him on the train?
Right.
She was quote unquote going to New York for her own reasons, but then recognized a customer from the grocery store, sat down, had a conversation with him. Already red flag city and weird as fuck.
Right.
And then they go from the train to I'm staying over at your place tonight.
Yeah, bro. They're in love.
but he had like a panic attack in the bathroom. They didn't even fucking talk.
No, they're in love, bro. She's got to bang him because it's her duty as an FBI agent. Okay, what do you not get?
but then
No.
Oh God. Like her cousin's out of town because she's some kind of like famous performer, but like why would you not visit your cousin, this close cousin that you have in the city? Why are you taking vacation when she's out of town? Like none of it made any sense to anyone who's like, I don't even know, interacted with other human beings. Like I don't even know the justifier for why this is just so logical, but
Well,
everything about it
I
was so illogical.
I want to know the logic behind the actual investigation itself. They set up an FBI unit to track this, decorated, valorous unit. And then they had to track one guy for, what was it, 5 years or something? 5 or 6 years or something crazy. And she has to work at a grocery store for 5 or 6 years, working shifts, You can't just jump in behind a counter and start working. Like, you've got to be trained for all this, and you got to be a worker on the shift schedule for 5 or 6 years just to maybe see if this one guy who's related to this unit, but you have no proof of anything. What? What are we doing? Like, are we seriously wasting federal?
All, dude.
This feels like a waste of federal budget.
It would have been better if she was like an NSA agent.
I mean, potatoes.
Yeah, but you could say at least that they had been surveilling everyone, and there happened to be some weird pattern with people in this thing. That like 2 lines of dialogue could have given context to the whole thing.
Yeah, or
instead it's just the FBI arbitrarily picked this group of people, which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and then they kind of insisted on her being a character throughout the movie, leading the charge at the end of the FBI, tracking him
which
down
she wouldn't
everything.
be doing.
Yeah, it's just what was
the lead detective doesn't go undercover as a fucking
right
grocery bagger,
the jackal.
So she wouldn't also be storming in. In
our previous episode, Day of the Jackal and the Jackal Reboot, we had this exact same conversation, almost the exact same conversation about FBI in Russia. So if you want to hear that, go listen to that episode. But it's my same problem. It's just, what are the logistics? I understand, okay, the FBI doing one of these things. I understand an FBI agent doing one of these things. But like you said, you're going to have the lead investigator going undercover, befriending this guy, I guess sleeping with this guy, or at least forming a semi-romantic attachment to this guy, just to then interrogate this guy, just to then lead the charge of the, assassination, or the, whatever, blocking the assassination attempt. What? Yeah. That can't be the same woman, That's just, no, that's got to be tens or hundreds of agents. But no. And then my last negative is small, lowercase words, boring. I think that might be the biggest sin of this movie, is that I was bored. And it's a psychological thriller, political thriller. I love psychological.
Neo-noir, psychological political thriller.
I mean, I prefer Gundam the Origin over Gundam because you get the politics. I like the Dragon Ball Broly movie, the politics section, and not the fighting section. I mean, I love political thrillers.
Right. The original Star Wars trilogy.
Yeah, Andor.
1, 2, 3 Star Wars trilogy.
I mean, well, and Andor. Andor is all politics. Or not all, but Andor is a lot of politics, and it's fantastic. So it's weird that they somehow made that idea boring to me. And yeah, that's my last negative.
I mean, we hit all of the ones that I also had, because most of them were shared ones with the music and the direction and all the various points I interrupted you over the course of the episode. So yeah, it is a bad movie. I would not recommend it.
I only have one other note. It's the etc. Right. Oh, I also, did we mention the guy who played Tuco in Breaking Bad? He was one of the soldiers?
No, but also who?
Doesn't matter. So one of my et ceteras was the mom Oedipus whatever thing. So at the end, he's moving to the right position to kill them both. So he's not brainwashed, right?
He through the will of being a straight white man, overcame
Right.
the scientific technologies of mind control to save his friend by AKA killing himself and his evil mom.
But doesn't that mean I don't know if it's implied they did more, but they kind of kissed sensually, like he wasn't even brainwashed for that? Is that, is that what I gathered? Because...
Or maybe the kiss undid the brainwash?
Maybe. I don't know. It felt weird. Felt really weird. I mean, it added a weird, dark layer to the movie, but I don't know if it needed it at all. I think the movie would have been exactly the same without it, except I wouldn't be asking the question I'm asking right now. So, I don't know. Just kind of weird. But yeah, it's all my notes. Wiki Letterboxd?
Well. Wiki. Budget? Any guesses? 2004?
2004, 20 million.
With this cast, buddy?
35 million? 50?
Oh, you sweet, sweet summer
60?
child. 80
Holy
million
sh-
buckaroos. Did you see the CG?
Bro,
did you hear the licensed music? Did you see the A-list acting?
Just to put this in perspective, Primer, which is a movie you and I enjoy,
Goated movie, top 20 movie
was
of all
made
time.
in the exact same year for less than $30,000.
Yeah. And
so
one of the most mind-blowing time travel movies, possibly the mind-blowing time travel movie.
Easy to watch too. I mean, of the time camera.
Easy to watch 13 times.
Yeah. Same year, 1% of the budget, and an infinitely
Fuck it, this is a
movie.
Primer podcast.
I mean, okay, let's just do multiple episodes of rewatching Primer.
Yeah, we just keep watching it until we understand it. Okay, that's too much.
Let's stop Reboot or Deboot right now. This is the last episode.
The Primer pod. So yeah, 80 mil. And for today's monies, that's somewhere around 140 mil.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot. Guess how much it made on that?
It's 79.
How much it made on that?
Better not have made any.
I mean, again, once you do your classic, marketing, they don't ever.
I mean, I hate it. I hate it, but it's truth. I absolutely hate it, but it's true.
But you're correct if you do that little side comment. 96.
96?
Just to whisper
more. Lady? Oh, well, good.
This movie again, budgeting costs, the extra add-ons, the equity for the rights or whatever the fuck that they had to pay Numbnuts' daughter.
Yeah, good.
Blah blah blah. So yeah, did not do well.
Nope.
The sort of etc. from the wiki, for which there's a few things. Apparently tons of like cameos in this. Bunch of famous directors, Sidney Lumet, Roger Corman, Al Franken as a politician, obviously not a director. And then the Authors Guild president at the time, Roy Blount Jr. all had cameos for random reasons.
Why?
I don't know. I guess they like this guy's work and they talk, and so they showed up. And maybe Al Franken liked this shit.
That's so weird. That's so weird.
Weird?
Why this movie?
Then production, etc. Obviously, Tina Sinatra, the daughter of Frank Sinatra, got this kicked off.
Sure, makes sense.
She had it for a long time, like late 80s or something, but it like only really replayed like on TV, the OG one, and then it wasn't until Numbnuts and Co. decided to reboot it that they reached out to her because she had the rights. So she co-produced it and came to life in the early 2000s.
That is so wild to me that it wasn't remade in the 80s for Russia. Or, you know what I'm saying? Russia, China, Cold War, brainwashing. That's crazy that no one thought to do that.
Right. And then New Jersey was where the Gulf War scenes were filmed.
They were so short.
Yeah, my exact take from that as well. that is the wiki. So we'll move on quickly through the
Wow.
letterboxes. There are quite a
This movie has
couple
nothing
here.
going for it.
Yeah, no, truly not. The overall ratings here are about 3.3.
Okay, so a little high, but okay.
Yeah, I think I said the original on the last episode, but let me just pull it up really quick because I don't have it up.
You might as well.
The 1962 version had a 4.0, so like, we're in agreement.
Well,
Worse.
good. That's good.
Yep. So an unmarked one, but a highly liked by other users one. Just a story, basically. My friend and I went to go see Harold and Kumar in high school, but they wouldn't let us in due to the dangers of drugs. So they let us walk into a movie about a man being brainwashed into killing the president or something. My lesson I learned that day was that drugs are serious business, more serious than killing the president of the United States. Luckily, I avoided drugs and alcohol entirely after that day and have never had to enter a 12-step program where I would have had to learn to accept a higher power into my life. Manchurian Candidate 2004.
I mean, that's pretty good. Because it's very realistic.
Yeah, totally 2004 coded. Not safe for children. Don't go watch Harold and Kumar.
Yeah,
will melt your brain.
We'll put this movie on cable, but Harold and Kumar, that's HBO.
Right. Babs gives it a half star and says, "What if the coolest movie ever was unintelligible and ridiculous?" And
I don't
know about coolest movie ever about the original, but this was unintelligible and ridiculous. So
I just thought they thought this movie was the coolest movie ever, but it's unintelligible and ridiculous. Like how I feel about Johnny Mnemonic.
Sure. Sure. I mean, I didn't read it that way, but yes, maybe it is that way.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way about some movies, so.
Ian Curran says 1 star. Doesn't work for me. It's such a simple story, and there's so much talent involved. I'm shocked at how unsuccessful this was in trying to achieve what it wants to achieve. Now, it's such a simple story. I feel like, sure, if you have a log line, but then you could just say that about a single, a single sentence, summary of any movie.
You could say,
I think this is a very fucking complicated story.
Yeah, I hate when people boil down stuff like that. Maybe he meant the original. Maybe he didn't even mean the word simple per se, Maybe he meant the original was so straightforward,
Right.
And then this movie wasn't.
Sure. We'll extend him that grace, but
I mean, because the original is not a simple plot, but it's straightforward. So maybe he's just, using the vernacular a little loose.
This person I want to invite on the podcast, Alfonseo or Alphonse Zero. I don't know which way he's going for it here.
Alphonse Zero is an awesome name. Just
1.5 stars. Doesn't have the fear, paranoia, and guts of Frankenheimer's original. Super Hollywood in the worst way. They even pan away from Meryl Streep's kiss. Frankenheimer was making his batshit manifesto, and DeMay was making a timely movie.
Nailed it. We're
Killed
done.
It. We're done. Wrap it up.
Nailed it. I mean, that is succinct, not overly complicated, doesn't use the stupid huge words. Perfect.
Yep. I've got a couple here because there's a common theme amongst reading through a smattering of the different reviews of this movie. Again, by fans and other letterboxers. But just quickly in back-to-back session, we have Cole, Casey Maloney, and Patrick Williams, each 2.5, 3.5, 3 respectively. Cole writes, or the Pete Buttigieg story. Casey Maloney writes, the idea that the corporation would have gone through the trouble of clandestine brainwashing in order to control the president instead of just donating to Pete Buttigieg now seems quaint beyond belief.
What the fuck?
And then Patrick Williams, or excuse me, not Patrick Williams. Oh no, I had duplicates. It was just another copy of the Casey Maloney one.
I'm just confused what brings that up.
Yeah, I mean, I think they reviewed it in 2020, 2021, where Pete Buttigieg was relevant, and he's also like Navy, and then went and served in Afghanistan, and
I guess I thought, see,
parents,
what could have made that
Midwest.
one review hilarious is just saying, why would they brainwash when they can just pay for it? But then they
Totally,
added
yeah.
their
I mean,
own
exactly.
interpretation and it ruined, and it's not that funny anymore.
Yeah, but there was a lot of Pete Buttigieg comments for whatever
Weird.
that's worth.
Weird.
Yeah. So Patrick Williams writes, if you're going to make a brainwashed sleeper assassin, maybe, I don't know, don't make their activation code word just their name. And same, buddy.
Totally agree. Totally agree. Because in the original, why don't you play a game of solitaire is not a common saying. Just so we're clear. Whereas.
Right. And he's supposed to see the fucking 9 of diamonds.
Yeah, right. Yeah, whereas this is just your name. Your name again. Oh, your full name.
Yeah.
There you go. Boom. Sleeper celled.
Kevin Clark writes, the Elvis impersonator using the public library computer next to Denzel is a touch only Jonathan Demme would throw into a political thriller.
Wow, I didn't even notice that.
Yep, me neither. And then
when you're so bored by a movie that you don't
I went back and looked.
An Elvis.
There is that. It is there.
Christ, I think that tells anyone listening all they need to know.
Hesse writes, 4 stars. The number of hilarious and surprising needle drops in this movie is truly staggering. What the fuck do they mean? Like, do they mean the early 2000s, like record scratch needle drop? Like,
no, I think they mean points in the plot where they go, "What the fuck?" I mean, I didn't get that at all, but that person.
Yeah, no, me neither. So,
did.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, poor this person, I think.
Yeah, they think these are twists when there was only one sort of twist, and it's only a twist because the original exists. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't really catch any needle drops. Maybe Meryl Streep making out with Liev Schreiber. I don't know. Is that all the letterbox?
Yeah, I clicked this person's account to try to get a sense as to where they were. They gave 2002 Solaris a 5-star. They gave The Man in the Iron Mask a 1-star. Both fine, I think. You know, people's preference and stuff, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
But then I looked at their bio and it says, Sodom today, Gomorrah the world. And I don't get that either. Like Tamara, but Gomorrah, but also Sodom and Gomorrah.
I don't know. We're not going to go into that.
Yeah, what?
All right, we're going to end it there. That has been... Wait, hold on. Actually, need to answer the question. Reboot or Deboot?
We know the answer. Deboot as fuck.
Deboot as fuck. There's the big red stamp. That has been episode 17 of Reboot or Deboot. Check us in 2 weeks. Sorry, something in my throat. Check us in 2 weeks when we review the Chinese film. It's original Chinese, right?
Uh-huh.
The original Chinese film Drug War from 2013 and its Korean remake Believer from 2018. Until then, we are out of there. Out of there?
Out of here? There? Everywhere?
They're the worst. They're the worst.